The book I read was Matched by Ali Condi and is about how the government failed. They in turn implemented policies to control everyone's personal business. As a result, the officials take it into their own hands to control everything and make things perfect. The novel begins with a girl named Cassia on her way to a banquet where she will discover whom she will be matched with. And strangely enough, Cassia is paired with her best friend Xander, which is strange for many reasons, two of which being that usually the matches live in a different province, and secondly, they are strangers until their first encounter. However, when Cassia goes through the background information about Xander, she ends up spotting a different face flash on the screen. Kai, who is, another friend of hers. During this time, Cassia is following the guidelines of being with her match. She also gets closer to Kai to learn more about him every day. It gets to the point where she needs to pick between the two boys while knowing that the way the government is running their lives is not beneficial. I read the book because it was recommended to me by friends and I decided to give it a try. It happens to be part 1 of the trilogy series. Though before being published, Ali graduated with her English teaching degree and became a high school English teacher. This is where I believe she built her literary education as inspiration for her futuristic writings to include how technology impacts people's lives on a daily basis. As for the title being called Matched, it has its pros and cons. It makes sense that it has this name seeing that matches when boys and girls are paired together to discover their future spouse. But the book is more than that. It's about Cassia knowing that the officials are not perfect and she is left to discover more than most people. Literary terms were used constantly throughout the novel. There was one quote I spotted that used personification. The sun blinking through the last of the clouds dares the birds to sing, and they do. This shows personification, which is when the non-living object is given human traits, and because the sun is not a living organism, it is given properties to provide depth inside the story. There is also plenty of similes in the book, such as the whispers rise soft around the birds beating with their wings. And since Ali wanted to describe two things together to form a vivid picture, there are plenty of similes. Further along, I noticed the connections between the real world and the book. For instance, if laws and codes were broken or not followed, then consequences are put into place to deal with the problem. Another scene would be when the officials monitored Cassia's sorting to finalize her career. In real life, that would be like colleges viewing tests, scoring, and deciding if the person has passed the subject or not. For the novel, I would give it a 4-star rating, though I enjoyed reading Matched and how the story had been described so readers could have the complete understanding. It seemed that there could have been more to the story that would give me or others greater interest to read the book to find out what happens in the upcoming books. In the end, Matched is a young adult fiction book and is aimed more to teens, though it does not mean others cannot read it for enjoyment. But I feel that it's targeted to younger adult audience who can relate to the young adult characters of the book. They can identify more closely with their view of the world and the relationship with others.